Hey guys, guess what? We are back. Bollox Talks and Tangents. Happy Turkey Day last week. Hope you guys had an amazing week. Had a short vacation. Lenny has scribbled all over the table. He's got everything going on that needs to be going on. Lenny, you seem stressed.
I'm just trying to figure out if I shared the show. This technology stuff is not for me.
It's not your gig.
Not in the least.
Not your gig.
No.
All right. Well, we're just happy everybody's here. We're happy you're here. We got Blake in the studio with us.
Yeah, man.
All right. And we killed another bottle, Lenny.
We're good at that.
We killed another bottle.
Hey, are we celebrities? Could we be in trouble for that?
I can tell you what. That's why I bring my driver. A lot of the people on my list, we're doing celebrities that have been to jail or got arrested for random stuff or criminals, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
You went a little like real hardcore criminals. I went with. Wow, that's a good story.
Oh, most of mine are still in. Well, half of mine are still in prison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you went with like real criminals.
There was low hanging fruit that I didn't want to take.
Yeah. You went hardcore on it. So
that was the problem for a couple of these guys too.
They went a little too hardcore. For sure. I kept it a little lighter. But we got to talk about our amazing sponsors.
I think we should.
And it's just good to be back. It feels like we haven't done a show in forever.
It's been weeks, or at least a week.
Even though this is my third show today.
Well, you're a busy man. You're a very busy man.
All right, but we got to talk about our sponsors. We have some great sponsors, St. Augustine Distillery and Citygate Spirits. Appreciate these guys. They have some great, if you're looking for a Christmas idea for mom, dad, or whoever, they have something for everybody who's in there. Go give them, go do the tasting tour, see what, actually trick whoever you want to buy it, whoever you want to buy something for.
Right.
Trick them to going. And then you can buy it for them because they'll go, oh, I really like this when they do the tasting
find out what
tour.
they like. Yeah.
So it's a great Christmas present. They do gift cards there, so that they can select whatever they want to do. So go give them a quick little tour in those things. All right, Meehan's.
Only there twice in the last 2 days.
Twice in the last 2 days. There
Friends
you go.
in town took him for dinner last night, and we stopped in for lunch this afternoon.
Did you see Reggie?
Not in the least.
Not in the least. Oh, man, he's off working somewhere.
So Sammy, she was there.
I saw Sammy.
Last night, yeah.
There you go. But Meehan's Irish Pub is 3 bars in one. They have amazing food. What did you have last night?
Last night...
Did you do the drunken clams again?
No, Julie did, and our friend did. Julie, that's her go-to, the drunken clams. I had the French dip.
The French dip.
Kaiser, you didn't hear
good.
that.
No, it's good.
It's good.
It's good. It's
good.
It's a.
Sorry, Reg. I know where I can get a better one.
It's a panini.
Yeah, and that's the problem because it doesn't.
It's different.
And I have an issue with that only in the fact that once they press and toast it, it's hard to soak up the au jus. So I think that's that's something that needs to be worked
with. The bread needs to be a
right.
little puffy to
right.
soak. Okay, I got that.
Yeah.
But I love the flavor.
Oh, it's delicious. Oh, absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
And their hand cut Irish chips.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Always good.
Yeah. But that's on my rotation of stuff I get when I go to Meehan's. And they got a nice big selection. Oh my gosh.
The new menu's out.
The chicken curry. So they didn't take it off. Tell me they didn't take chicken curry
I didn't notice it. That I can't promise you. But the wings are back on, which I found out take 2 days to make. They take 2 days. They must brine them. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And trust me, that effort is worth it.
All right. The next one on our list is Roosevelt Room. Roosevelt Room. They have a meeting space of 75 people. So if you got a small wedding, a reception, anything you want to do, a Christmas party coming up, give them a call at the Roosevelt Room. Brianna over there will take care of you. And just a great place for breakfast and lunch.
I'm still a fan of those duck fat potatoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's so good. All right. Abare, Kresge and Associates. These guys are the best in town. They're the CPAs I use. And let me tell you right now, I got some businesses moving and shaking. So now they're shaking now. So we're challenging them every day. Abare, Kresge and Associates, the best CPAs in town. St. Augustine Pirate Museum. All right. I talked to yes. St. Augustine Pirate Museum. They have over 800 artifacts. You can't see it all in one visit. Give them multiple visits. Just every time you go, it's going to be a different experience.
And it's nice because, there's stuff from pirate movies, and everybody likes a pirate movie, and then there's stuff from real-life pirates.
Yeah. I mean, it's good for kids and adults.
Interesting. I wonder if they do a Somali pirate exhibit. Contemporary.
Oh, they should.
There you go.
Right. They update a little bit. All right.
I am captain now. Oh.
Yeah, I am your captain now. Coquina Coast Realty, commercial, residential, whatever you want to do. That's what I've been doing a lot this week. Is doing a lot of doing a lot of real estate stuff. Give me a call at 904-669-7901. You're thinking about listing your house? Give me a call. We'll talk about it, whether or not it's the right time for you. Because sometimes it's just not right for you. You know, sometimes it's a little early. You don't want to go too soon. You want to try and hit that sweet spot. Hopefully, I can help you with that. And it doesn't cost anything to talk to me. All right. You want to talk about the amazing Kaiser's Deli.
And it is amazing. By the way, if you're looking for a smaller Christmas party, because the Roosevelt Room is for 75 people or a little bit less, Kaiser's, you got 15 or 20 people in your office. You've got a bunch of friends. You want to do it with your neighbors. Can't think of a better place to do it. Amazingly curated selection of beer and a nice selection of wine, on-premise, off-premise, available for both. But his beer selection is, if you're a beer aficionado, you got to go in and you got to talk to Kaiser. I mean, he was a barman for years and years. He managed the bar at Meehan's for over 10 years. This man knows his beers, and they are just a very well curated section. And the food is great. And sorry, Reggie, you know I love you, and you know I love Meehan's, but the French dip on the hoagie roll just soaks up that Kaiser's au jus, and the Kaiser puts the main ingredient in Kaiser's au jus is absolutely love. I hate to say it, it's all love. It's all the trim from all the meats, and he cooks it down, strains it. It's an amazing. You could drink that, and you'd be just very happy. It's that good.
Your cholesterol wouldn't.
No, nor your gout.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
But I can tell you right now, the Rolly is my favorite sandwich over there.
That's the one I'm getting next. I haven't had that because I default to the ones that I like.
Yeah.
So
you got to like peppers.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I like peppers.
And the onions, yep.
So,
yep.
And Blake, what's your go-to?
The White Street.
Which one?
The White Street.
The White Street. Okay.
Pressed. The White Street pressed.
You like it pressed now, or
yes, I do.
It's the new. Okay,
it's the way to go for that.
Thank you, Mr. Remo.
You're very welcome. Yep. I will take care of you when you go there.
All right. So we got some word origins to do.
I got a couple.
I got a couple, and one of them surprised me.
Yeah, and me. You went downright biblical.
Yeah, I was a little caught off guard. I didn't know it was biblical. Mm-hmm. And the deeper I got, the more biblical it got. So, and the one I'm talking about is the apple of my eye. Mm-hmm. All right, and I did not realize, but it was a Hebrew's expression, and it meant little man of the eye, which means it's like the reflection in a pupil.
Right.
So it's like if I'm talking to you and I see my own reflection in your pupil, it's like, oh, I see a lot of you and me.
Oh, okay.
So
I like that, and that's a compliment.
That's kind of the way it works. But when I dug deeper, that term, we might want to do that. Dig deep. That term,
I remember,
is in 6 Bible verses.
Yeah.
So I mean, the one that really was the first one that popped up, and then I was like, okay, I'm not writing down all these because I'm lazy.
All Old Testament.
Unlike you over there. Psalm 17:8. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of the wings. So basically, it's protect.
Okay.
I still want to be the apple of your eye, the reflection you see, but still wants the protection.
Gets me into church with my favorite song is On Eagle's Wings. Mm-hmm. I like that when you go to church and they sing On Eagle's Wings. Yeah,
I can tell you this. One of my favorite U2 songs is 40. Okay. Which is the 40, and they basically just sing the 40th Psalm. And I'm, neither one of us are very religious.
No, we are not.
But it is one of my favorite songs.
Right.
So,
hey, I was, I'm a churchgoer from time to time. I'm a temple goer from time to time.
Yeah.
I'm an agnostic all the time. So it kind of works out.
So what's your first word origin?
My first one is the walls have ears.
Ooh.
A lot of palace intrigue involved in this. The walls have ears. Okay. And the saying comes from
I'm all ears.
There you go. A couple of different sources. One might be Dionysius of Syracuse's palace in the late 300s BC, where he built an ear-shaped cave between rooms in his palace so he could hear what was going on in those two rooms. It's all about the palace intrigue.
Okay.
You know, these people did not want to be surprised by anything, and they wanted to have their finger on the pulse, so to speak. Ooh, that's another one. And then it was first recorded in English in 1620 in written down English. But before that, Catherine de' Medici, when they were building the Louvre, she went in
Medici.
and she ended up putting listening tubes into the bedrooms in the Louvre, in the rooms in the Louvre, so that, you know, she was not surprised by anything that was going on. She knew everything that was going on because she was eavesdropping.
I heard they had a little bit of money.
A couple bucks.
Those
Couple bucks.
Medicis.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that one of the richest families in the history of the world?
At the time, it probably was.
Yeah, I mean, like even if you,
put it into contemporary,
in contemporary terms, I think they were one of the richest families of all time.
And they controlled everything. You know, I mean, made himself pope, and Lorenzo became pope, and
they listened to everything.
Well, nobody snuck up on him. That's for sure. They were not getting surprised by any of that proverbial palace intrigue.
So the walls have ears.
The walls have ears. So it basically means, dummy up, eat it, because people is listening.
Yep. Dummy up, eat it. Okay. You ever go back and watch any of
from time to time?
All the Family?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's no way he's ever on TV right now.
No.
No way he's ever on TV.
Stifle it either.
Yeah.
Poor meathead.
Wow.
I still keep flashing back to the one where Mike Stivic was putting his socks on, and the whole conversation.
That was one of our questions of the day, like years ago, and I forgot about it. And I rewatched that probably once every 6 months.
And for those of you scoring at home, the question actually is, Mike was putting his shoes and socks on, and he put on like one shoe and one sock, or two socks at the same time and then his shoes. And the question was, why do you do it that way? Well, I put my both socks on before I put my shoes on in case I got to run out and I got at least my socks on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. What if it's cold out? You have at least you have your socks on.
Yep.
So how do you put on your shoes?
Well, I don't wear socks, so I just put my shoes on.
Is it left foot, right foot, or it doesn't matter?
Apparently, I think I go left foot first for some reason.
Yeah.
I usually do my left foot first, and I'm right-hand dominant, so I don't quite understand that.
All right, Blake, what about you? Socks and shoes, how do you put them on?
I usually do right foot, left foot, then for socks, then left foot, right foot for shoes.
So you do it reverse, coming backwards. Interesting.
All right, you go one side, and then you're already on that side, and you swing back. That's efficient. That's efficient.
See, I'm right foot, left foot socks, and then I go back to the right foot and go right foot, left foot shoes.
I wear less
even
socks
if I'm
than I wear
putting on
pants
flip-flops,
nowadays. Yeah.
I mean, the only time I put on flip-flops in the wrong order is if one's twisted.
Backwards,
and you have to adjust it. But I'm always right foot, left foot, and I never thought of it until I did that question of the day.
Right.
So, it's interesting to see.
And of course, tomorrow I'm going to pay attention when I put my shoes on.
You will.
But I think I go left foot first.
Yeah, I'm right. I'm right foot, left foot. All right. My next one is honeymoon.
Okay.
Okay. And it goes all the way back to 1546. And it was a celebration the 30 days after being married. So a moon cycle lasts 30 days. Mm-hmm. So
as most women will tell us.
In 1546, you didn't get a lot of honey from your honey. So you took advantage of those 30 days.
Oh, yeah.
And that's pretty much where it comes from is the moon cycle is about 30 days. So it's 30 days. And it basically translates to month of honey.
Okay.
So, but it was the term first used in 1546.
And there was no actual bees honey involved in this.
No bees involved at all.
No bees were harmed in the making of this idiom.
No bees. As what I saw, there was no bees. There was quite a buzz.
I'm sure.
If you're in Medici's and the walls had ears.
Yes, exactly. You know what's exactly who's going where.
Yeah, I think that's what they're really doing. Listening in.
All right. Well, my second one is the walls have ears, so you really have to be careful what you say, and and that's good. What you say in public, and now what you say on a speakerphone as you're walking down the street, not looking like an insane person because you have your earbud in and you're talking. And used to be you could tell crazy people because they were just yabbering to themselves walking down the street. Now you don't know who's a crazy person because they may have an earbud in and they're talking on the phone.
Well, I was one of the first people to have Bluetooth in my office, and I would use my Bluetooth, or I'd have I had a headset actually that was Bluetooth from my phone, and I literally had my assistant made me a chain that said "I'm on the phone," because people would start talking to me as I was talking. They would answer the question I was talking to on the phone.
Jeez, right.
And I'm such a multitasker in a lot of ways. So I would be walking through doing something, and now that I think about it, it was very disruptive and rude. But my assistant, Mama B, made me a sign that made me wear when I wore my headset.
Okay. She made you wear it.
Yeah,
okay,
she made me.
fair enough.
My assistant made me wear it. Yes,
Right.
that's how that worked.
Look, that's a good assistant because
Yeah.
most good assistants can control their person.
Yeah. So, but it was good. It was a
Right.
good thing.
So
What's your second one?
What the walls have ears, so you got to be careful what you say. So put a sock in it.
Put a sock in it.
Put a sock in it.
Okay.
Okay. Got a couple of different citations for where it may have come from.
Kind of like shut your pie hole.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, got
yeah. Which is, so one iteration, it's quiet down, stop talking, just dumb me up, eat it, or stifle, as if you want to just use one word. And it came from World War I in the trenches, and guys would have to put a sock in it, or they would say put a sock in it, or put a bung in it, or put a cork in it, because
cork
you know
in
what?
it, yeah.
If you were sitting in a trench and you were yabbering along, the
Yeah.
Germans could find you.
Yeah.
And that was not a good thing. And then the other one where it came from was old gramophones that had the big, speaker was a big bell-shaped thing.
Yeah.
Like, like on a tuba or a trombone or a trumpet. And they didn't have volume controls. So if you wanted to mute it, you would stuff a sock in it. So you would put a sock in the bell of your gramophone to control the volume.
That I've never heard of before,
Yeah.
but that's probably my favorite one you brought in 7 months.
Wow, I got work to do to get over that one now.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No, yeah. It completely makes sense, and it's a very practical term. So I'm now happy.
Well, if you're happy, I'm happy.
That's the end of our show.
Blake, he's happy. We're good. We can go.
All right,
All right.
goodbye, everyone.
So tonight, Blake, you got to talk right in that mic. For some reason in here, we
Oh, come on. Can you
know.
guys hear me okay?
yeah,
Sure.
but you got to talk in the microphone, man.
I am trying to talk into the microphone.
Hey, there's no reason to yell and
Why
get
you
testy.
yelling? That's not what we do here.
I'm sorry.
Much better.
Yeah, it's just be near the mic. Gosh.
Okay.
I know you're watching something and not watching us, but so it's time to get into
Oh, yeah.
some people that broke the law that were famous. I went a little lighter. None of my people did any major time,
Oh,
but
wow.
all of my people had some funny stories with it.
Yeah, yeah. Some of these are not, mine are not too terribly humorous.
Yours are a
No,
little darker.
no, yeah,
So we're gonna
yeah,
go light, dark, light, dark.
Sure.
Okay.
Start us off on an easy one.
Okay. I'll get us started. One of the favorite ones I saw was, and I love this guy as an actor. I think he's one of my favorite actors of all time. Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
All right. And that line came to him like on the spot. It wasn't in the script. But Matthew McConaughey was having a little trouble with his neighbor.
Okay.
Neighbor called the cops on him because the music was too loud.
See, that's why you invite your neighbor to your parties.
He got arrested. He got arrested for possession of marijuana and drug paraphernalia. And when the cops got there, he was dancing in his front yard, completely naked,
Nice. Okay.
playing the bongos.
I did not know this.
Yes. So he got arrested. His neighbor, the cops who arrested him, evidently he was super funny about it and just kind of like went along with it. So I don't know if he was preparing for the Magic Mike,
Right.
or what
He was being method, right.
He's a method actor, so it might have been that.
Yep.
But he was arrested. He was detained, and then they let him out and only gave him a fine for the noise ordinance, $50.
That's good. Yeah, it's funny because I caught something. It was a meme or something on Instagram.
Blake popped up the Matthew McConaughey. Sorry, Blake. You had it up there. Bring it back up again.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's a pretty
Yeah,
good
we
mugshot.
got some mugshots coming in.
That's a pretty
Absolutely.
good mugshot.
So there's a a Bollox wannabe. This guy Zach Galifianakis, who has his own show
Between two
ferns.
Yeah,
and I saw a bunch of little vignettes out of that just the other day. And one of them he's talking and he's asking people questions and they're falling off the chair laughing.
Yeah.
I've got to start watching that more. And he's talking to Matthew McConaughey. He said, "Seriously, can you explain to me what the weed budget was when you and Woody Harrelson did True Detective?"
Yeah. It was pretty high.
Yeah, he just fell off his chair. Yeah. That's some funny stuff that man asked. Yeah. Oh goodness.
I think you need to check out the one he did with Barack.
Okay. Wow.
Between Two Ferns, he did one with Barack and he did one with Hillary. And both of them were actually really hilarious.
Okay.
And if you check out the bloopers of Between Two Ferns, I mean, he'll actually read it and then make himself laugh.
Yeah.
Have you seen him do that yet?
No. I'm only vaguely familiar with it, so I'm going to go back.
When they show it live, he keeps a straight face the entire time. But some of the stuff he asks is Benedict Cumberbatch. He's like, "Do you think you would? Do people perceive you as a better actor because you have a funny accent?"
Right. That was one of the ones in this thing. Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, and there was he was talking to Paul Rudd, and it was just brilliant.
Yeah.
And he's keeping a straight face, and his guests are literally falling off of their chairs.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy. So what's your first one? Dark
right.
man.
Well, if we're gonna go, let's start with Phil Spector and his hair, and then I can lighten it up later. Yeah, Phil Spector.
Well,
Phil Spector. What a hairdo that man had, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, Phil Spector was.
I'm going to need more to drink.
Yeah, I would think so. Quite the prominent music producer. Mm-hmm. I mean, he did Let It Be for the Beatles, Tina Turner, Billy Joel. He worked with some of the greats, and he was a brilliant record producer. But apparently, the guy was out of his mind on a lot of other levels, let alone his hair. Like I should talk, by the way. And he picked up a woman. You know, he had a reputation for being controlling and violent. Mm-hmm. He would wave a gun around at times. Apparently, there was one incident where he lost his patience with a valet waiting for his car and pulled out his gun to threaten the guy. Wow. There was a B-movie actress named Lana Clarkson.
Whew, look at this.
Wow, there goes the hair, Phil.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Because normally he had this big mop of hair coming all down from he was just all dark hair everywhere and curls. So Lana Clarkson was a B-movie actress, buxom and beautiful, played the Barbarian Queen was, I think, her most notable role. Mm-hmm. And then her career kind of fizzled. So she was working as a waitress in a upscale, high-end restaurant, apparently. Mm-hmm. And Phil Spector came in and, I guess for lack of a better way to phrase it, picked her up and, they went home together. And this is where the story gets really kind of strange because the way the story goes is the conjecture is she tried to leave, he forced her in a chair, wouldn't let her leave, stuck a gun in her mouth, pulled the trigger and killed her instantly. Bang, zoom, dead.
Wow.
He tried to claim she committed suicide. Mm-hmm. And all this, there were no witnesses to this. To the best of my knowledge and everything I read, there were no witnesses to this. Mm-hmm. There were 2 trials. Second trial, he was convicted of murder and incarcerated for a 19-year minimum sentence for murder. Mm-hmm. He's since passed away in prison in 2021. And it's weird in the fact that they created this scenario where he killed her because of basically, I guess, past behavior. Maybe he had gunshot residue and she didn't.
That's what I was going to say. It had to have something to do with the residue or the angle of the gun. I mean, there's a lot of science that goes into that.
The articles that I read didn't mention an explanation of how the detectives crafted their conjecture. But after 2 trials, and he died a couple of years ago in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Mine's a little lighter.
Go ahead. We can lighten it up because I'm going to get uglier before I get white privilege.
Mine's a little lighter.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about a guy by the name of Robert James Ritchie. All right, Robert James Ritchie. He's been here in St. Augustine. I've had drinks with Robert James Ritchie.
Does your parole officer know you're consorting with criminals?
This was in 2009.
All right, so you cleared parole. You're good.
Yeah. And Blake, can you bring up a picture of Robert James Ritchie so people know who Robert James Ritchie is? So it wasn't so much the crime he did, because it was an assault, and it wasn't the crime. There he is, right there. Robert James. That is, of course, Kid Rock.
Yes, sir.
But his crime took place in one of mine and Blake's favorite dining locations.
Along with me and many other people.
Because this is, I don't know if there's a more efficient restaurant in the world than what I see at the Waffle House.
It's a great place.
You know, and Floridians only get scared when the Waffle House closes.
But it doesn't.
It has. And that's when it's
You better
time
hunker
to
down.
run.
Right, hunker down.
It might not have happened in your Floridian life,
Correct.
but when it does, you should run. Because Waffle House is the barometer of all bad shit. So, when Kid Rock played here in, I think it was 2009, I believe it was about 2009, 2008, 2009, maybe 2008. I went up and it was one of my very first big shows.
Right at the
And
end.
I was like, I don't know what to call you. I don't know if I call you Kid Rock. I don't know if I call you, I just really appreciate you coming here.
Mr. Rock.
And
right.
he just goes, call me Bob. People just call me Bob. Like I was asking him like some crazy, but I was like, I don't know to call you Kid. I don't know to call you Mr. Rock. I don't know to call you Kid Rock.
Yeah.
He's like, call me Bob. And he literally looked at me like I was, dumb, but he was such a good dude.
Yeah.
Some of the guys on his crew were a pain in the ass, but he was a legitimately good dude. So there were stories of him sitting on the steps of Casa Monica,
Oh, yeah?
drinking his bourbon after he left. I did a shot with him of I think it's Red Stag.
Oh, yeah.
I think
yeah,
that's
yeah,
his bourbon.
Yeah.
So, by the way, it's not my favorite.
No, I think it might be
It's a Jim
Beam product. It's a Jim Beam product.
Yeah, it's a Jim Beam product. So, but he got in a fight after a concert in the Waffle House. Got arrested in a Waffle House. So if you're going to get arrested,
Well,
I can't think of anything better
I'd do it on a full stomach for sure.
than getting arrested after having smothered, covered, and
I was going to ask which way you go with your.
I do smothered, covered, and capped.
I do smothered, covered, and capped, and I throw in one more, which are the mushrooms.
Okay, that's capped, isn't it?
I thought it was the cheese was the capped.
Oh, I think that's the smothered.
I don't know. Yeah, I would fail that
Blake,
quiz.
what's give us each, if you can Google the how to order hash browns
Or the Waffle House menu.
at Waffle House and pull up the Waffle House menu.
I was very, very pleased and actually kind of surprised that I finally found the Waffle House in St. Augustine.
Okay, all right, I got it.
All right, you got it?
Oh, please.
All right. So let's just say what you do if you want to just want like one portion of hash browns? What's it called?
One portion of hash browns. A single.
Yeah,
A regular.
regular.
Okay.
Okay.
A 2 portions, large.
Okay.
Triple portions, triple.
Okay.
Now for the thing you actually want.
Yeah,
All right,
the
let's-
question I
right,
actually asked.
All right.
Thank you for
All
that.
right. How about smothered? What's
Okay.
smothered?
I think that's onions.
It's onions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Covered.
I think that's
Is that
cheese.
the cheese?
Yes.
Okay.
Chunked.
Chuck, is that the ham?
Ham.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Topped.
I don't know. Maybe that's the.
That could be the mushrooms?
That might be the mushrooms.
That's chili.
Chili.
Ooh,
No.
That's
no.
getting messy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, diced.
Well, the onions are gone, so is
Peppers?
that peppers?
Tomatoes.
Okay.
Peppered.
Peppers.
Yep. And then capped.
Mushrooms.
Is that the shrooms?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
as
I'm
in
smothered-
mushroom caps.
I'm
So-
smothered, covered, and capped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the caps make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they all actually
Yeah.
they also do make sense.
Yeah.
and lastly, what's the name if you want all those toppings together? What's the name of it?
The works.
Scattered all the way.
Scattered.
Okay.
Okay. I can see that.
Shaboopy.
Yeah.
So
Now we have a waffle. I mean, this show just has everything.
we found the Waffle House by happenstance. It's opposite the only surviving outlets over on Route 16 when you go around the bend under
we
95.
know exactly where it is.
Yeah,
And
we know.
is it not the tiniest little one you've ever seen?
No, there's some
No,
tiny
we've
ones.
seen- we've seen some.
Oh wait, I'm missing one. There's one I forgot. Country.
Is that with the gravy?
Gravy?
Yep, sausage
Okay.
gravy.
Yeah.
Ooh, you can't go bad with sausage gravy. Good sausage gravy is a wonderful thing. Bad sausage gravy is wallpaper paste.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Still, I'm going to try it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, where's the best sausage and gravy you've ever had?
Most
can tell you this.
recently,
Mine was in a little city in Georgia when I was doing my walk to D.C. And I just stumbled across it, and they had sausage gravy, and they had greens for breakfast.
okay.
And the
That'll start
greens
you off.
were amazing. I'm telling you right now, it was
Like
smaller
collards.
than the studio. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's smaller than the studio, and I'm telling you, it's the best food I had on the entire trip.
I will tell you the most recent iteration of excellent biscuits and gravy was at Mary's on the water, Harborside.
Yeah, very solid.
Yep.
Very solid.
That was
I've had
really
Mary's-
good.
Yeah, sausage.
You know, they were delightful, and the
George-
biscuits and gravy were great.
Georgie's Diner does it, and I'll tell you this:
Yeah.
try the Roosevelt Room.
Yeah, I didn't have the biscuits and gravy when I was there. No, I had something else. I had the eggs. But yeah, like I said, if it's good, it's excellent, and if it's bad, that's one of those things that if it's bad, it can be really, really bad.
Because you grew up north,
Yeah.
did you have sausage and gravy over biscuits?
Not so much, no. Or
wasn't-
biscuits.
yeah.
You say biscuits to people upstairs, and they're thinking like a Parker House roll or something like that, like a dinner biscuit. They're not talking about drop biscuits or shortcut.
Like
no.
Bisquick.
Well, I mean, you can make biscuits out of Bisquick, but yeah, no, they're talking.
I mean, you're not
they're
talking-
talking. No, they're talking bread like. You think of a biscuit, they think of you think of a bread like thing, not a biscuity kind of thing,
Like not a
not
big-
crumbly,
not a big
and not
fluff.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Tell you, fast food. The Hardee's used to have amazing biscuits.
Hardee's
and
used to be
gravy.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, I miss Hardee's.
I know, and there's a couple. Look, we go down the road, and all of a sudden, oh, there's a Waffle House. There's a when we're on 95 going up and
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
and there's a and we finally found the one in St. Augustine.
Well, when we travel, we scout out Waffle Houses.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's one of our kind of our. I mean, I don't do a whole lot of chains.
I will say,
But Waffle House is one of the chains I'll do.
Right.
I mean, I do the highest quality of chains because
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Taco Bell, and
a man after my own heart.
I'm a big fan
My
of
wife
Waffle.
just fainted.
I'm a big fan of Waffle House. So I mean, I only go after the higher levels
Hey.
of food chains.
And I will say that there's Taco Bells that are really, really good and Taco Bells that are just not so good for some reason. And I can't understand
Burger
it.
Kings are that way for me.
Yeah.
Burger Kings, because sometimes I'd crave a Whopper,
Yeah.
and if you get the wrong one,
Yeah.
it could be a hockey puck.
I kind of like the Whopper Junior. It's a little more manageable than the Whopper gets a little floppy at times.
Yeah. So, and I'll do the Whopper Junior if I'm not quite hungry.
But I'm very proud of us in the fact that we were in Atlanta a bunch of years ago and ate in a Waffle House in Atlanta, and I thought that was as official as you're going to get. So I was pretty pleased with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, of all the fast food chains, which one do you find the most revolting? Blake, what about you on that question?
The most revolting.
Most revolting of all the fast food chains.
Ooh.
Well,
Does pizza does like pizza chains count?
sure.
I think pizza chains count.
All right, now I'm gonna say Little Caesars.
Oh, that is
Interesting.
That is horrible.
See, I'm so reticent. From New York, you don't go to, and I keep getting sucked in. This is like Budweiser. I see a Budweiser ad, and I don't drink Budweiser. I don't like Budweiser. But every now and again, that little Clydesdale and the Dalmatian get me in the
Their
heartstrings.
advertisement's great.
And I order
not enough
I order
for
a
you.
Bud,
Still
and
not enough.
I take 2 hits off of it, and I'm done. I can't do it.
Yep, still not enough.
So from New York, you don't go to a Little Caesars, but I'm telling you right now, I toy with the fact that I'm going to order something from Domino's just to see, because when I was in college, we had a running joke that Domino's would deliver to the dorms when I was up at Cornell, and when that happened, the joke was, could you tell the difference between the crust and the cardboard box it came in? And often you could not.
You could not.
So that's it. So I would
we
think
had a $5 Domino's night when I was at Flagler, and they delivered to the Breezeway, and I can tell you, I way more Domino's than I probably ever should have in my
Yeah.
life, and I don't think I can eat Domino's now.
but I'm intrigued. It's like it's the same thing. And I
So
was gonna,
what's your worst chain? He went with Little Caesars, which is not a terrible one. I'm not going to go.
I have no frame of reference for those. I mean, I would do Domino's, but that's from 40 years ago. What I will say is the McDonald's on Anastasia Island off of 312 is quite possibly one of the worst McDonald's I've ever been to.
Wow. Okay.
And I don't eat McDonald's often.
I
but
only love their fries.
the fries are great. And unfortunately they don't do them in beef tallow anymore. And that was a big transition when they went to vegetable oil.
Yeah.
But my bride likes her annual and maybe 2 or 3 times a year her fish fillet sandwich.
Okay.
So we'll do that. But I once a year, whether I need to or not, will get a Big Mac.
Oh, I do. I do that too.
And it's just because I need a Big Mac once a year.
I can tell you this: I don't hate McDonald's breakfast.
That's too early in the morning for me, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
still
you don't wake up
on
and-
night
yeah,
hours,
you-
man.
yeah.
My circadian rhythm does not match anybody's.
Well, Rebecca said Crystal, but I'm going with the.
I don't mind Crystals
I'm going
because
with
it's
the-
White Castle South.
I'm going with the northern version of
Yeah.
it, and it's White Castle.
Oh,
And I can tell you
shame
why.
on you.
No, I can tell you why. Because I was at a White Castle in Nashville, one of the more southern White Castles,
Okay.
and the flies were so bad in there.
Okay.
I'm not talking like the fruit flies that a lot of restaurants battle down here in Florida. A lot of I'm talking
yeah,
like
yeah, that's tough
I'm
to
talking
do.
about like type flies.
Pterodactyls.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm telling you right now, and I still ate it. I'm not gonna lie because I was drunk. I still ate it,
Yeah.
but it was probably one of the grossest fast food experiences I ever had.
I can
was with
understand
White
that.
Castle.
I can understand that.
But we
Yeah.
had White Castle in Vegas, didn't we, Blake?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So
You know, a good steamed slider is a wonderful thing. A bad one is just it mushes.
I can tell you this.
They're
there's-
soggy. If it's
and-
soggy, you're in trouble.
And they're not one of our sponsors, but they need to be because I had a dinner there the other night at Bourbon and Boards,
Oh, okay.
and they do some sliders.
How is that?
in there? It was the meal I had was excellent.
Oh, good to know.
It was excellent.
Very
there.
exciting.
So, and they had a nice bourbon selection, but they
Better still.
yeah. So
moved up on the list.
but they didn't have Jameson.
It's not a bourbon.
Yeah,
It's an
not a
Irish
bourbon.
whiskey.
Not a
It's
bourbon.
an Irish whiskey.
But they didn't have Jameson.
So we took our friends that are visiting and staying with us. We went to Meehan's last night because you know I come to town and I brag on Meehan's. You know, remember that, Reggie? I brag on Meehan's because you do it well.
He does do it right.
Oh, so good. And she walks in and she looks up and she says, "That's a lot of Jameson bottles."
I only drank half of those. Julie, I only drank half.
So, and of course, we finished the meal, and what did I do? I turned them on to the Irish cream. She was smitten with it. My
That's so
my
good.
friend Jennifer is now smitten with that Irish cream.
Yeah, and you know what time it is? It's time for us to talk about how
our
amazing our
sponsors?
sponsors are.
They are.
Let's start off with Kaiser's. Kaiser's, it's the best deli in town.
Try the pastrami.
He just really has done an amazing job over there. So proud of him. He worked so hard to get to where he was at.
He's a
It was a
good
struggle
person.
to do it, and just a genuine human being.
He really is. Good man.
Give him a support. All our the thing I love about all our sponsors are locals.
Yep.
And they give back to the community so much. But Kaiser's,
Yep.
I'm telling you, if you're looking for a great deli sandwich, you're not going to be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Go see them right there on Anastasia Boulevard.
I hope Amanda's gotten her bada bing, but if she hasn't, I might have to bring her one.
Yeah, you need to bring
know.
her one.
And she better get a friend to help eat it.
All right. Coquina Coast Realty, you have any real estate needs you want, or if you just want to give me a call and chat, give me a call at 904-669-7901. 904-669-7901. I'll help you out the best I possibly can. And if I can't help you, I'll get you to somebody who can. All right. St. Augustine Pirate Museum, Cindy Stalvey over there. They have an amazing location there, but they don't just do that. They also have Bull and Crown.
Which, by the way, excuse me one second, we were on St. George Street today. There was a freaking line out the door for Bull and Crown.
Food
First
there-
time I've ever seen that.
Food there is really good. I know it's hard to say English food was really good, but the food there is really good. They also have the Oak, so they
Yep,
put on some of the best concerts in town. Just community-based people at the St. Augustine Pirate Museum, and we really appreciate them being a sponsor with us for so long. Abare, Kresge and Associates, they've been also our sponsor since the very beginning. The best CPAs in town. I'm telling you right now, these guys, they've been longtime friends of mine, but they've been my go-to if I needed any financial advice, my go-to if I needed anything done tax-wise or setting up a business.
You do understand that you are a tax write-off for them as they advertise on your show.
Yes.
So, so it's a mutual benefit.
Well, I don't think, I think the risk of having me as a client
Outweighs
whatever tax write-off they can get. And I love the fact when they call things a tax write-off, that only means it's not taxable at that time. You don't write it off.
Right.
It's not like they give you money back.
Right. No. Right.
Yeah, it's a tax write-off. No, they don't give you money back.
Right.
It's
arithmetic.
Yeah, exactly. It goes into the whole formula. All right. Another amazing place. I'm telling you right now, Blake, we need to get down there because I know how much you love bacon. It's best bacon in town. They have the candy bacon at the Roosevelt Room. Yep. They can do parties up to 75 people, taking reservations.
Nice,
you got Christmas parties coming up. Give these guys a call. And
you make everybody walking on St. George Street jealous that they're not invited to your party.
Oh yeah, no, you do a private party. No one else is allowed in. It's a beautiful space. All right, I'm gonna let you talk about Reg. I don't know if we pumped him up enough.
I don't know, but Meehan's is fabulous, and it's. Oh, I'm gonna panic on this again because they changed the menu. So Reggie's been working on this for 3 months. He finally put the new menu into play, and last night was the first night of it, as a matter of fact. And the wings are back on, and those wings are just
Did they get rid of the
outstanding.
Tendies? The Tender Bites?
Well, they did, and it was, and this is where I keep panicking. I know it's a T, and I keep her in it, and it's Tipperary. Oh goodness, it's, my brain is so weird that the Tipperary chicken bites. But the beautiful thing is last night we were talking about it and the new menu, and Sammy came to the table, and she said, "Well, they prepped a bunch of them in the kitchen, so we still sort of have them." So we went back this afternoon. We got the Tipperary chicken bites. Because those are just delicious.
Maeve's not going to be happy with Reggie if those are off the kids' menu.
Ooh, I think they may be off the menu. Get her there soon because we had them today and they were just fabulous.
He doesn't want an angry 4-year-old in on him.
I wouldn't be pissing Maeve off.
No, that girl's got some spunk.
Yep.
All right.
Like her mother. Yeah, she's a tough one.
All right. Yeah. Love you, babe. St. Augustine Distillery and Citygate Spirits. Phil McDaniel and his whole crew over there, they do an absolute amazing job. They have the best tasting tour in the country.
Yeah.
Not insane. The best in the country.
Right.
So, I mean, that's some stiff competition for a company that's only been around 15 or 20 years.
That long?
Yeah.
I would have said less.
Probably less than that.
Yeah. And it's because I think
it's definitely less than that.
Yeah, because I think they were just starting out when we moved to town, and that was in 2015. So were they here before the 450th?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's
just
great
barely.
Party. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, they were not long there.
They didn't have the bourbon yet. Because the bourbon,
they started with the clear liquors.
They started immediately with the bourbon, but it took 3 years for them to release the first bourbon.
But I heard that in St. Augustine, bourbon ages faster.
It does. For some reason, the barrels cure quicker in Florida.
Could be that Fountain of Youthy thing.
Yeah, it might be. Maybe that.
I'm going with that one.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I drink a lot. I drink a lot of that. That's why I'm 96 years old.
And by the way, for those of you again scoring at home, it's a free tour.
Yeah.
So don't be shy. Come in, show up.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, and you get to go through and with Citygate Spirits too.
Citygate Spirits, that's a wonderful one. You try
flavors.
I think you end up trying 9 things, at least 6, but I think it might be 9.
Yeah,
you go to 3 stations.
Yeah, such a unique,
and the flavors are fabulous. Yeah.
So.
Fun place.
All right, let's get back to it. I mean, who you got? Is it your turn or my turn? I think it's your turn. Because I think.
You did Kid Rock. All right. I'm gonna because I'll keep the white privilege, and the rich women later. Jared Fogle.
Okay.
Sorry, Blake. This is not a happy one. This is Jared Fogle was the spokesperson.
I don't even know if I can call him a celebrity. I'm borderlining on this.
Guy was on your TV screen 14 times a day forever.
This guy, the only reason he was famous is because he was fat.
And then he lost 245 pounds and showed up his big pants.
Mm-hmm. No talent skills.
No socially redeeming skills. Let's get right to it. This is not a good person.
Celebrity. It doesn't make him talented. So
no,
I guess you don't have to be talented to be a celebrity, Kardashians.
Fair enough. So Jared Fogle, who was the Subway spokesperson, lost 245 pounds. Would hold up his old pants and be there in skinny, and he was a celebrity, and I'll tell you why. He was parodied on South Park. Mm-hmm. He was on Saturday Night Live, and he was in 2 of the Sharknado films. If that's not celebrity, I don't know what is.
Good point. Good point.
So, but he was having a conversation with a reporter, a woman by the name of Rachel Herman, and he asked her if she wouldn't mind putting cameras in her children's room. He asked the reporter this. Would you mind putting cameras in your children's room for me? Oh no, this is sick shit. This is some serious sick shit. And she looked at him and she said,
yes, I'd mind.
Thank you. And she went the next day and she went to the FBI and said, there's a problem with this man. You need to look into this. Now, that was in this is where it gets wacky. That was in 2007. Okay? There was a sting that the FBI did. You want to talk about slow playing something? The FBI raided his house in 2015. That's how long it took for them to go and raid his house. Now, he was arrested in a couple years later, and he was sentenced to jail for crossing state lines to have sex with a minor. He went to Thailand to have sex with a young boy. He was arrested for having child pornography, and he had a Jarrett Foundation that he created a philanthropy that gave him access to children. This is a bad dude, and
yeah, I don't understand how he's still.
Well, I got a worse one for you. It took until 2015 for the FBI raid before Subway cut ties with him officially. They had started to wean him out, unrelated to his horribleness. They were changing their ad campaigns, and they worked away from this guy, so they were going in a different direction for their ad campaigns. But they didn't cut ties with him until 2015 when the FBI raided his house. And I find that a little bit problematic as well.
Wow.
So he's still in prison. It was 2019 when they arrested him.
So he's only been in jail for 4 years. Feels like he's been in jail for a long time.
And it was a 15 or a 19-year minimum, a 13-year minimum sentence. Mm-hmm. And he's been there forever. Wow. Now I team him up with another Kardashian-like celebrity.
Okay.
Josh Duggar.
Okay. Yeah.
19 and counting.
The Duggars, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got some religious
and this
situation.
is like the oldest son or something.
He is the oldest son.
Okay. I don't know a lot about the Duggars.
You're better off.
If any Duggar walked in, I wouldn't know they were a Duggar.
Julie would watch the show 19 and counting, and I'm just going.
Now
stop.
the Octomom I know.
Whoa, that's talk about non-celebrity as well.
Yeah, but Duggar, what did Duggar do?
He was basically he was child pornography again. Now and there was some conjecture that he may or may not have molested one of his sisters or a couple of his sisters, and that was never proven.
Nope.
And they never ratted him out. He married a woman named Anna, and they were married. Mm-hmm. He's the oldest Duggar in the family. He's got 7 children. His sister, who's been married and has left the church that they run, mm-hmm. and her husband is now a pastor in a Baptist church elsewhere and is living his own life. Good for you. They have 5 kids. They are big on a lot of children. Mm-hmm. Jim Bob and Mommy Duggar are just and it's Arkansas, and they've got and it's not even a compound, but they're very wealthy there.
Yeah,
they run this church.
Bus. Yeah.
It's a wacky thing. But he's in prison in Texas, and he will not get out before 2032. And he was arrested for possession of and I don't know if it was distribution,
but
these
2 guys should never get out.
No, I agree.
They should just never get out.
And he's in Texas, in Segoville, Texas prison, federal penitentiary. And you know what? And the question that everybody kept asking, well, does his wife, is his wife support him? She visits him. He only gets like 4 hours a month, but that's a little too much still. So these are just. I mean, I went.
Yeah, you went a little dark.
I'm going to light it up with what I call affluent privilege in a couple minutes.
All right, so I'm going to go with I got some icons.
Okay.
All right, I got Johnny Cash.
I want to hear this one.
So Johnny Cash actually was arrested. he talks about Folsom Prison, never in Folsom Prison.
We talked about that this afternoon when
Yeah.
because it's funny because you and I talk about this and we bring up a topic and all of a sudden everybody wants to start giving me ideas.
Yeah. No. I'm good with. I like when people give me that. I get my research late today.
Right. Okay.
Later than normal. I usually have it already printed out and I have notes everywhere and stuff like that. So I got Johnny Cash. Blake, you got Johnny Cash's mugshot up there?
Yeah, I can find it. What year was his arrest again?
It was probably 64.
Okay.
It'd been mid-60s.
It's probably the most famous mugshot he has, though.
Yeah, it's probably if you go to it,
it's funny because we were talking about it today, and I didn't realize he had been arrested. We were talking about he was in prison, but he played Folsom Prison. He wasn't in Folsom Prison.
He was never actually in prison.
Right.
He actually played music in Folsom Prison.
Right, exactly. That's a great album. That's a great album.
Yeah,
and a great live concert.
It's
if you
live
can see it.
from
Folsom Prison. Yeah.
All right,
and there's video.
But Johnny Cash and a boy named Sue. There he is, right there. Looks like it's a little earlier than 64. It might be earlier than that.
I like the high and tight.
But Johnny Cash, he was a pill popper. He was a drug guy.
Okay.
He did a lot of those.
Had to stay up for his late night gigs.
Yep. Well, and he had to go to Mexico to get a lot of those.
Ooh.
So one night coming back through El Paso,
West Texas town of.
Yep, that's where he spent the night. In El Paso's jail, and that's where that mugshot took place. So Johnny Cash actually did go to jail, even though he was never in Folsom County Prison.
So one of the best country tunes of all time is El Paso, which is, I can't believe I'm just spacing on who did it originally. Oh, my goodness. Well, we'll carry on. I'll come back to it another day because it was a difference between, it wasn't Hank Williams. It was, oh, man. Don't get old.
Well, the other option's not as good.
That's very true. We were talking about that at lunch today as well.
The other option's not as good.
Being dead isn't as good as being old and creaky.
Yeah. I'd rather creak. So, all right. Did you lose every train of thought that was coming?
No. But it was a good connection to El Paso.
I can come back to you.
Yeah. It wasn't Hank. It wasn't Hank Williams. It was. Marty Robbins. Thank you very much. Hi, honey, I'm home.
Yeah. Not a big Marty Robbins fan.
Well, but Marty Robbins did El Paso, and it was about a gunfight.
He showed up on a hee-haw a lot. I was
Yeah, but he had a gunfight, and he sang the song. Well, Bob Weir covered the song, and Marty Robbins, there's absolutely no remorse in it. Bob Weir added a line that when he shot the guy, he was shocked by the foul evil deed he had done. So Bob Weir in the song at least had some remorse.
Yeah.
Marty Robbins shot the guy and didn't even bat an eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. One of my favorite celebrities of all time. Like if you said, pick 3 people you want to play golf with.
Okay.
This guy, I pick him not just because I know I can beat him. All right.
Okay.
Not just,
I'm liking that.
But I saw him play basketball when he played Stetson University.
You can beat him?
I can beat him in golf.
Oh, you're going to lose a lot of money.
Why?
Are we going with the large mound around?
Yes.
Oh, man. He's a bad gambler. He doesn't win much, but he's not a bad golfer.
Oh, he's horrible.
Really?
He's horrendous.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he won a lot of money playing golf.
No.
I know he lost a lot of money playing golf.
No, Michael Jordan won a lot of money playing golf. Michael Jordan's a good golfer.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's a good golfer.
Lousy baseball player, but good golfer.
Terrible baseball. He was a hype baseball player, and he had to do that because he was gambling too much in the NBA. And,
right. They got rid of him.
Yeah. They said, hey, you're going to probably need to take
So
some
carry
time.
on with one of my favorite people in the world.
So
yes.
Charles Barkley's been
with
arrested
you.
4 times.
Okay.
All right. But the time that's near and dear to my heart is he was playing against the Orlando Magic and decided to go out the night after the game. All right. And I believe it was Church Street Station, close to that area in Orlando.
Okay.
All right. Charles says that the gentleman slipped and fell through the front window. Witnesses say the large mound of rebound I think it was in 1997. Blake, did you bring that picture up yet?
Boop.
There he is right there.
Oh, he's looking slim.
No, that's 91. That's the earlier one.
He's looking slim, Charles.
I can tell you that's the earlier one. He had started becoming a little rounder at this point.
Oh, yeah.
But Charles says, the guy slipped and fell through the window. everyone in the bar, and this is the area close to Rosie O'Grady's. I don't know if it was called Phineas Fogg's. There it is right there. That's the one from that one.
Ooh, a little menacing in that face.
Said he lifted him up pretty much almost to his chest and threw the gentleman out the window. But a lot of people say, in Charles's defense, that the man spit on him.
Okay.
So if you're ever wanting to spit on a 6'6",
Oh, my goodness.
300-pound man who's a professional athlete, don't pick Charles Barkley.
No. And he is one of the most entertaining people ever.
I can tell you right now, I think he's written 3 books. I've read all 3 of them. He wrote a book that actually featured Barack Obama as a senator. And I can't think of the name of the book, but I read the book and I was like, wow, this guy sounds like a really cool dude. Sounds like he's going to go places. And Charles Barkley predicted before Obama was president that this man's going to be president.
Impressive.
So, but Charles, I love Charles Barkley.
And one of the best things I appreciate about Charles Barkley is, people kept trying to hold him up. They wanted to make him a role model. Mm-hmm. And he said, I'm a basketball player. I shouldn't be anybody's role model.
But he knew he was, and it was taken out of context.
Right. But he's right about that, He
wanted your mom and dad to be your role model.
Right. Absolutely.
But sometimes Charles and mom and dads aren't the good role models either.
Well, that's very true.
And that's why we lean on celebrities. That's why we lean on sports figures. That's why we lean on.
And sometimes that's unfair, though.
No. But you know what? The paycheck that comes with it.
Very true.
There's responsibility that comes with that.
Hey, with great paychecks comes great responsibility.
Exactly.
To paraphrase Stan Lee.
I think Charles now understands that better than Charles then. And some of the things Charles is just an honest guy.
Yes, he is.
I mean, some of his race relationship stuff that he does, don't do stupid shit. Yeah. And stupid shit won't happen to you.
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty good sense.
It's for anybody. Black, white, or orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now, I think if Charles Barkley ran for governor of Alabama, he wins.
Well, there was a draft Barkley movement, and he wanted nothing to do. I mean, that goes back a couple, 5 or 7 years ago? Yeah. They were trying to put him up for governor. Look, I would much rather have Charles Barkley as governor of Alabama than Tommy Tuberville as senator from Alabama, personally. Speaking personally.
Herschel lost his race, and I thought Herschel was going to win that.
Oh, and it would have been horrible.
Herschel, when he played for the Philadelphia Stars, right?
No, he played for U.S. Generals.
U.S. Generals.
He played for Donald Trump's U.S. Health.
He came to DeLand and did a scrimmage game with the Stars, with the Philadelphia Stars, because they trained in DeLand.
Yeah.
And Georgia was trying to recruit my friend Bridget Gordon. Okay. And at that time, he came and spoke to us. And
Herschel Walker.
Yeah, Herschel Walker. And Bridget Gordon's the best female athlete I've ever known in my life. She's now the head coach of Florida A&M. So she was NCAA player.
What sport?
Basketball.
Okay.
She won 2 national titles with University of Tennessee.
Gotcha. Oh yeah.
From DeLand. Pat
Summit.
Yeah, with Pat. When Pat passed away, we actually had Bridget on our radio show. But Bridget we still talk. She just took the job at Florida A&M as head coach, women's basketball coach there.
Congratulations.
But Herschel Walker came to help recruit her to go to Georgia. She'd already committed. But she's like, it's Herschel Walker.
Right, absolutely.
So she had a gathering of friends to meet him too. He could be, and he speaks way better now. But when spoke,
that didn't come through in his Senate campaign, unfortunately.
He's like a genius now compared to when he spoke then.
Wow.
I'm telling you right now, all of us kind of looked at each other and went, it's a good thing he can play football.
Yeah, I mean,
and we're talking mid 80s. We're talking he had just won the Heisman.
Right.
He had just done all of that stuff and was playing in the USFL.
Right.
So we're talking like early in his career. And I'm telling you right now, there was probably 10 of us from DeLand High School, and all of us were pretty good athletes. Mm-hmm. And we're all like, oh, Herschel. And they were all like, ooh, Herschel.
Right.
It was different.
Yeah, even on the campaign trail, the poor man would talk himself into circles.
Yeah. So
It was a little scary.
all right, I got one more I want to talk about because I didn't even know this story at all until
Go
I
ahead.
started.
Go ahead.
And he's one of my favorite singers of all time, Glenn Campbell.
I am a lineman for the county.
Rhinestone Cowboy. But Glenn Campbell, he was involved in a drunk driving situation, in a hit and run situation, and then he tried to evade the police all at the same time. And so,
Wow,
yeah,
not good.
no. I mean, there was damage to his BMW, and somehow he got off on a technicality.
You got off on a Glenn Campbell.
Yeah.
You know what? I give the man a lot of credit for the fact that he knew when he started getting Alzheimer's.
There he
that
is,
it was,
right there.
That it was time for him to slow. Oh, well, that's a menacing little face.
Yeah.
That it was time for him to go, and he bowed out gracefully, and that was a little sad. Glenn Campbell's end of his career was sad. The guy was, he was great. It's funny because one of the ones I didn't do was Matthew Broderick,
Okay.
who was in Ireland and was in an automobile accident where 2 people were killed when he was in an accident with them, and he was apparently culpable, but at the end of the day, he paid a fine and was let off. So I don't know whether or not there was extenuating circumstances or what. And I don't think that in Ireland they would care that it was necessarily Matthew Broderick. So
No, they didn't care.
So-
I can tell you right now, we didn't do OJ.
no,
We didn't do the low hanging fruit.
No, we left the low hanging fruit on the tree. No Harvey Weinstein. No,
No.
Yeah. I did have 2
You had
more.
some dirt balls. All right, we got 1 minute. Actually, we're over on time, but you
We're
got
done.
1 minute.
Well, I did Lori Loughlin, who spent $500,000 to get her daughter into college when her daughter didn't want to go to college.
Yeah.
They paid off some guy at USC.
Is that the lady from Full
Full
House?
House, exactly. Cost her any TV careers, and her daughter was a very successful influencer, and had sponsorships.
Pretty much killed her career.
It did. She lost her sponsorships. The poor kid didn't want to go to college. They made her do this. It was a bad deal. And the woman did 2 months in prison, $150,000 fine plus community service, and she ain't working again.
No, she's done. She got stuff to make that back.
Yep.
All right. I want to say thank you to everybody. If you would, please hit that share button. Fun show. Blake, great job producing. Appreciate
As
you throwing
always.
up those pictures. Next week,
Hi there.
you guys are going to have a celebrity guest in here.
I thought my celebrity
because-
guest was going to be the Mr. Blake Blevins.
Well, you have Blake and you,
I know.
but you have the option
Apparently,
of
we're not
filling.
enough, Blake.
You have the option of filling the seat.
We'll consider it. Blake and I will discuss.
Yep. So you have the option of filling the seat. But I'll see you guys. See you guys in 2 weeks. I'm going to try not to fall into a volcano next
Please don't
week.
get blown up.
I will try not to be sucked up into an earthquake, but we should have an amazing time. I should have great stories in 2 weeks. This is Bollox Talks and Tangents, and we'll be back in
Peace
next
out.
week.
Yep.